Aloha! Wow, Eric looks different. Okay.
Must have shaved.
Yeah, I look about that white in this time of year. It's bad.
All right, let's do it. Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 23 of Carvers and Creators, a weekly demonstration and discussion with pumpkin carvers, sculptors, and multi-talented artists. We please ask that you please give us a like and a follow on the platform you're watching us on, and let us know in the comments where you're watching from and if you have any questions for the carvers and our special guest. Let's meet the carvers. First, he's an artist and sculptor from Boston, Massachusetts. He's the 2019 champion of Food Network's Outrageous Pumpkins. Paul Dever, welcome.
Hey.
Happy Thursday, everybody.
Here we go.
Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you. Happy Thursday an hour early. We're sorry we had to yank you off the course for this special Carvers and Creators.
You know, it's well worth it. I get the best of both worlds tonight.
Next, he's a multimedia sculpture artist from Tucson, Arizona, and a finalist on Halloween Wars 2019 on the Food Network, Matt Harper.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, everybody. We talk about replacing those pictures. But we got to do that someday. We just actually.
Yeah, as soon as you
like
get
high
them,
school
I'll put them right in.
picture.
I like it, Matt. I think it's a good picture of you, buddy.
All right.
That's the one on top.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Forget that.
Yeah.
Like Matt, our guest tonight was also a finalist on Halloween Wars in 2020 on the Food Network. He's a caricature and carving artist from New York. Please welcome Eric Jones.
Yeah.
There he is.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm excited to be here. I appreciate it.
It's
Our
Friday.
pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us.
My name is
You're
Michael
super
Mondragon. I'll be running the show, moderating comments, and chiming in from time to time. Let's check out our creations from last week. Here is Matt's. The carving subject was a drunk botched plastic surgery.
I love the nose.
I love it.
Yeah. So the part that I struggle with the most was trying to make it drunk. I mean, anybody can like make the big lips, and I wanted one of the nostrils to be bigger than the other, and like you know really botched. But so I was like, well, make the eyes all dopey and make it drooling. That was kind of my little way to tie it all together. But
I love the drool.
Yeah,
So
that's
cool.
fantastic. It's like Liz Tyler, but bald.
exactly.
I love it. So what's the nostril? One nostril bigger than the other? Is that a normal drunk thing? I haven't heard that. Is that a California thing?
That's the botched plastic surgery part of it. She went back in, or he did, whatever this gourd identifies as
a kaboka.
Yeah, exactly. And got a second, third, fourth, and fifth nose job, and they couldn't put it back after that.
I love how we think like that too. You're like after like the fourth nose job is when it caves in.
Yeah.
Like we know.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what Michael Jackson taught us. So,
Yeah. Stop after one.
Yeah. Stop after one.
I like the hair too, how it comes out, and it actually looks really super cool.
Yeah, and you turned it up. You turned that kaboka on its side. I think we're onto something.
Yeah.
Dude, I tell you I just never ran out. I mean, like right by the nose, I started getting a little deeper and almost breaking in, but just being able to have all that thickness pretty uniform across it is fun. I mean, basically it's a kabocha turned on its side. So it's and
yeah,
Paul,
Matt, what are the white pumpkins? What are those white pumpkins that are really dense, like a carrot almost? They're not Cinderellas, but they almost look like Cinderellas. If you noticed on Halloween Wars, almost every head that I made in every display was out of those pumpkins because you got such great shape and density. It was so much easier than a traditional pumpkin.
Yeah, thickness is the game, baby, in this sport.
Eric, you're amazing at throwing your voice. I feel like we have Landon back on. The way he can keep his head so still and throw his voice, his mouth doesn't move.
Like a ventriloquist.
he's just too camera shy.
Well, here's Polly. Unbelievable. So good.
That's so smooth. When I first saw that, I thought it was one of those balloon animals those guys make at the circus,
Yeah. Oh yeah, I could see that.
It's really good.
It took a lot of scrubbing to get that smooth, and then tooling it again. I couldn't use any rakes. That's like the kiss of death because you can't get them out, the rake marks.
Yeah.
It was and then I don't know. Again, like Matt, like you were saying, I struggled with the drunkenness, but then I was like, anybody that gets that much plastic surgery is already a raging alcoholic anyway.
Exactly.
So you pulled the hair, like the hair's still pulled back, and
oh yeah, that's the part I love. The eyebrows, the hair. I mean, those little tiny details are so badass, and the part like that, and I struggle with this too, is when they get all the Botox, you can't see any wrinkles at all.
No
and
wrinkles.
I love doing wrinkles. So that was like, damn it.
That was the challenge, was to not wrinkle it up. Like under the eyes, I'm like, oh, I got to at least like put something under the eyes. And I'm like, well, if you get that much filler, then it kind of, the cheeks get pushed up into the bottom of the eye socket. So
it's got a Hollywood Karen kind of vibe. I like it.
Exactly what I was going for.
She is going to the manager, but with big lips.
Yeah. I think one of the underappreciated things here, well, both of you did like really awesome with the eyebrows, but on this one, the one thing that I noticed with the small detail was Paul's eyelashes that are on the side. Those are fantastic.
Thank you. Well, otherwise, she had to get the lash extensions too. That's the new thing, right? You got to have like a horse's tail hanging off the front of your eyes. It seems like
big 7-inch eyelash. I love it.
Totally natural. Like all you girls out there doing it, it looks great.
Yeah, keep it up.
You can feel the breeze when she winks at you. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You can smell her breath because she spent more money on her eyelashes than she did her teeth. Sorry, was that out loud?
I don't know who you're speaking of here, Paul. I don't know who you're talking about.
Anybody with lips that big is anybody that gets fillers like that.
That's right.
Well, so after a proper creative hazing last week, I am back in the game.
Oh, good.
I decided to bring in a drunk botch plastic surgery. I just basically took a stock photo. I remember one time, this actually made me think back to a time Matt and I, we went to either a Circuit City or someplace like that, some electronics place, and they had Photoshop open. And the big thing about Photoshop at that time was, you could just play around with it and stuff like that. It's had it on the computer. And I don't know if you remember this, Matt. You may or may not remember this. We went in and they had like a picture of an eagle, and we just made the head as small as it could possibly get, but the body was still the same. So like when someone came back to it, they just saw the eagle and they just saw the like a little tiny little head, but it wasn't like super smushed or distorted and stuff like that. So I thought to myself, like, how can I do the face? Like someone would not get their face reduced. So I just tried it. So I just tried it and just played around with it. So this is just my. I just wanted to make.
Welcome back, Mickey. Welcome
back, buddy. I would love to see it. It's very Pixar.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you
it's
so
like
much.
It's kind of like a drunk Scott Baio. I like it.
I'd like to see how he drinks. I mean, he needs a little tiny soda straw to get that.
Well, like if Jimmy Garoppolo had Zika.
There you go. Go the other way. All right.
That's a foreshadowing for later. We have a lot of football talk on this episode.
Well, I don't.
I already confused.
No, Paul doesn't have
it.
Sorry, you were broken up there, Eric. You're about to get dropped. I'm sorry. What? No,
so, Eric, I'd like to introduce you to the fourth member of Carvers and Creators, responsible for choosing our carving subject tonight. It is the hollow wheel, the center spinner, and as always, Paul will explain more now.
Yes, the wheel.
Hello, children. Happy Thursday. A little earlier. Good friend Eric. Tonight's choices. I swapped one out last minute. The guys don't even know about this. So this week our choices are puppet, Karen, cryptozoology, nerdy, psychopathic, parasite, guest choice, amphibian, primate, and macho. Second spin will be sulking, hysterical, bored, irritated, drunk, grizzled, stoned, euphoric, charismatic, or repulsive.
Oh my goodness.
Whew, that's a lot to say.
That is.
All right. Are we ready?
Wait, no, I think Paul, before you go, we should maybe make mention Eric is going to be doing this wheel with us today. So
Yes, taking the challenge.
taking this and putting it to snow. Okay, I'm sorry, I just was so excited I couldn't help myself.
As long as you spin the right ones, yeah, I will.
Don't worry. We talked earlier. My Venmo account got the right amount in there. You're good. Here we go. I hope I don't whack my elbow. Oh, good spin.
Nice.
Cryptozoology.
Oh Lord.
I'll give you guys a second to Google it so you know what it means. It's fine.
Okay.
Here we go. Oh, we have it's on the line. That's a first.
Okay.
Respin.
What do we respin? Please show it firsts. How many firsts?
Hysterical cryptozoology.
Hysterical cryptozoology.
Cryptozoology.
I am going to have to Google this. I have no idea.
Cryptozoology is any creature that is deemed mythical. So like Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, Chupacabra. There's like a million of them. So this might actually be a decent one to at least Google cryptozoology and find a couple that aren't exactly the same. If we all end up with Harry and the Hendersons, it's going to be a bummer.
Yeah, or the elusive Mondragon. I don't know if you've ever seen
Oh,
in
the
the
old
wild.
Mondragon.
That's not found in the wild very much anymore.
Yeah.
At least in the last 2 years.
We know where to find this.
Huh? How do you?
It's been a bit of an endangered species. All right,
Okay,
so
hysterical. Okay.
Put it in the chat, so because I've already forgotten.
Yeah. What? I'm gonna write this.
I had to figure out if it's one word or 2 words. Hysterical cryptos. All right, here we go. Coming at you.
Coming in hot.
All right.
All right.
I can't believe you're expecting to make this out of snow.
Yeah, you gotta make something like that out of snow. Piece of cake, Eric.
Well, you're the snow god, right? You're the snowman. Oh, boy.
All right.
I'm just trying to, I wish they had a list of like creatures that are considered. Well, I got one. I got mine. Forget it, guys. You're all set. I got mine. You're on your own.
All right. So every so often I'll be putting this at the bottom. I know that people have been actually reaching out and saying we don't know the carving subject because we don't see the top of the show. So I'll do this every so often where, and also it'll be a reminder for you guys as well.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely is because I already forgot what. Is it hysterical?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hysterical cryptozoology.
Okay.
Jesus.
Which I kind of think all cryptozoology is a little bit hysterical, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Holy moly. Yeah, there's some serious choices here. All right, I'm going to stop looking. I just wanted to make sure that there was more than just the Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot. There's a lot. There's a whole bunch. Anything folklore, I think, is what it is.
Yeah.
Like a mermaid is cryptozoology, I believe.
Yeah, I'm looking at. You're right. There's a bunch of hairy looking beasts, and then each country looks like they have their own. Like China has a bunch.
Yeah, there's hairy beasts in the cryptozoology tab too. I thought you were just talking about the 4 of us.
Oh,
So you're saying anything dragon related, right? That'd be considered cryptozoology.
Yeah,
sure.
like the Mothman and like
cool.
I said, that Chupacabra thing, and yeah, I got one. I hope I got one, unless I screw it up. All right, bye.
no, you got this. You got this.
We'll
All right,
see.
so
Every week's a new challenge.
that's right. If you're carving with us tonight, if you're creating with us tonight, we're going to give you 5 minutes. We like to go around, see what everybody's carving oil is for tonight. And I'll start with Eric. I know Eric actually has a very interesting one.
Yeah, tonight I need this because I'm working on a big ice block. So I'm going with some Bird Dog hot cinnamon whiskey, just basic.
Ooh.
But the important thing is I'm using my Second Amendment glass with a 38 caliber bullet in the side of the glass. That's what really matters.
Oh, nice. I've seen those. It looks like the whiskey's actually already frozen. I didn't know whiskey could freeze, but it seems like it might be.
Yeah. What's the temperature there?
It's about 10 degrees out here. Yeah.
Good Lord.
But I'm feeling great though. I'm feeling great.
Oh my goodness. Matt, what do you got?
Okay, I found a beer called Two Hearted Ale,
Oh yeah.
and it's got a fish on it.
Oh, look at that! Is that a
Yeah.
cryptozoology fish?
It is.
Oh,
It
that's
is
a book
tonight.
club.
It's okay. Let's see. It's made with hops of some sort and aromas ranging from pine to grapefruit. And it's
Wow.
orange in color. The can.
Orange.
Okay. And
Bell's
let's
is a
see.
great brewery.
Smells nice. Oh, it's Bell's. Yeah, it's from Bell's, Comstock, Michigan, which is like right around the corner from here.
All right, Paul, what do you got?
Well, I'm not going to let Eric drink the brown water alone, so I'm going to go with my favorite, Basil Hayden Kentucky Bourbon.
Ooh,
Very nice.
Bastard.
Delicious.
Very nice.
All my good decisions don't come from this.
I should have broked out that stuff too, the brown water, but hey, there's always
Brown
later in
water.
the show. All right, Mickey, what are you drinking? Tiger.
Come on, Mick.
Right.
Let's see it.
So I still have 2 more weeks of a dry January, but I am there's a great brewery called Modern Times out here, and they actually make a coffee. So this is the Cloud Ripper coffee,
Wow.
a seasonal cold brew. So I probably usually I would defer to their craft beer, of course, but I'm doing their coffee. So,
Right on.
So
Very
cheers to everybody. Cheers
Cheers.
to all of our designs.
Cheers, gentlemen.
And
To
let's
whatever it
get
is we think we're doing. Oh,
Yes.
boy.
Someday, maybe we find out.
All right.
Yeah.
So I wanted to okay, so to introduce Eric properly, I actually can do all the type of work he does with the Buffalo Bills as the subject. So he's a very accomplished snow sculpture artist. And we'll come back to this. I'm gonna come back to this. And he's done it quite a few times. So the Bills
I love that one. That one's
Yeah.
dynamite.
so good.
The composition on that one's crazy.
That was a fun.
Fantastic. So, and then he also does pumpkins, does
Nice,
those
nice.
amazingly
Love the
enough.
helmet look.
Yep. And he's a caricature artist. So fantastic. So let's go back to the top. So this one was actually from today, right, Eric?
Yeah, I actually finished that this morning. That's going viral as we speak here in Western New York. I got a couple of news stories tomorrow. I got to do some shows on and talk a little bit about it. Yeah, there's not much else to do in Western New York except root for the Bills.
Yeah.
So what did you do like previous to Josh Allen? Because there really wasn't much to root for a while.
I didn't carve much snow. What are you going to carve? Trent Edwards? He only played like 4 games, and then we didn't have much. I guess since Doug Flutie, it's been like a 20-year drought.
You know what? And I will admit to this. Well, because Flutie's a local guy, I have a Doug Flutie Buffalo Bills jersey still.
Good
Oh
for
wow.
Yes, I do.
you. For you.
You can buy it off me now if you'd like. I mean, I know you're nostalgic for your Bills because they're doing well.
Well, I still got some old Flutie flakes. I'll stick to those.
Nice. I might have a box of Flutie Flakes too. I forgot those existed.
Wow. That is awesome.
Flutie
No,
Flakes. Oh yeah. That's a breakfast cereal.
I even have the Gronk ones,
Oh,
whatever those were called. Probably Gronk Flakes.
They have Gronk party flakes.
Yeah, they're soaked in bourbon actually.
Don't forget, guys, Gronk went to U of A. That's where I live. So it's all a big circle we just made here.
Yeah, but Gronk died when he left New England. It's a bummer. Dead to
Got
me.
another ring though. Like bastard.
Yeah, a couple.
Well, Eric, I wanted to ask you this question. So are you aware who Steve Bartman is?
Steve Bartman.
Yes.
I know. Oh, I know. Oh, teacher, pick me.
That sounds familiar,
Matt,
but
who's-
I'm going to say no. I don't.
Okay, Matt,
He's-
who is Steve
He's
Barton?
I think he's the guy who reached in and screwed up the play when the Cubs were about to go to the World Series or in the World Series or something, right?
Yes, he
I know
Wow.
that.
he did
Yeah,
what he
okay.
did what any fan would do
Like,
in
reach
that
out for the
position.
ball.
Reached for the ball, and it was probably in the late innings. The Cubs wound up blowing that game and that series. And Steve Bartman is in like witness protection right now. Still, he. But the Cubs won the World Series, and you thought that the curse would have been lifted. Bill Buckner was a similar thing when Bill Buckner. When the Red Sox won the World Series, Bill Buckner was invited back with open arms. Now, my question to you, Eric, if the Bills win the championship this year, will Scott Norwood will the ban, will the witness protection of Scott Norwood be lifted?
No, that'll never happen. I'll tell you why. But although I will say this, the Buffalonians look at it a little bit differently. We have a pretty good sense of humor because we've been so bad for so long. But my favorite thing about the Scott Norwood stuff, no matter where you go in Buffalo, someone's always wearing a Scott Norwood jersey with the lettering and the name to the right. It's off to the right side of the shirt. like it's misprinted, and the whole name is scrunched over to the right side, and the number 11, I believe, is what he was. Scrunched over to the right. It's fantastic. But Bills have a pretty good sense of humor about that stuff.
Yep. I've always wanted to ask, obviously a hardcore Buffalo Bills fan that question.
No, I you know what? Scott Norwood, that year the Bills lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl. I think it was 90. Scott Norwood led the whole NFL in scoring, if I'm not mistaken. He was an incredible kicker. He just missed the only one that mattered.
Right. Yep. Yeah, that was tough. So here's some more of Eric's.
That one I love.
Oh yeah,
you can't go wrong with a Bumble. Are those carrots for the fingers and toes?
No, actually, I just used pool noodles, pieces of pool noodle cut up,
okay.
and stuffed them in there with dowels. But that was pretty fun. That was one of the early ones I did last winter. That got a lot of attention. I did that right in my side yard.
Yeah, that's killer, man. I love that.
So you do other mediums like sand and stuff. I was going to ask you this question. So and I think we've got probably some pictures of it, but when it comes to snow, I know you get a lot of it in Buffalo. I imagine is it somewhat similar to sand in any way? Like when it comes to how it compacts, how it carves, any of that stuff, or is it really dependent on the temperature?
Yeah, I mold sand the same way that I mold snow, and I build forms and brace the forms with like an ectoskeleton, and then fill them and compact them. Sand you can control how it sticks together and how it binds a little easier than snow. Like I'm right now, I'm having trouble because this, and I was telling you guys earlier, it was 37 degrees yesterday. This was like snowman snow. It was real packy. Nice. Now it's 10 degrees. So it's turned into an ice cube. So it's a little bit different. You gotta adjust for it. But you basically mold it the same way. It's just compaction and carve. Most people think that snow carving is you're building it up like you would a snowman when you're a kid, when you start a ball and roll it.
Right.
That's not the case. You can you build forms and fill them with snow and let it settle and then remove the form.
Okay. Just like in a sandcastle building.
Exactly. Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. Whenever I've done it, I've not the forms. No, hell to the no. It's taking all that time. But I'll take my snowblower and clear my entire yard in a circle back to the center.
Yeah.
And then you get enough storms that you have that huge mountain in the back, and then you just tell the kids, go play on it. And that, that's what does all the work.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pack it down, let it settle, and then you can sculpt it into whatever you want.
Yep. And then you can break 4 or 5 shovels and all kinds of trowels trying to get through that ice.
I use the same tools for sand and snow. I use a like mason tools, V-notch trowel. I use a Bob Ross palette knife, stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
They don't make those fancy tools for snow like they do for pumpkins, you know.
Well, I mean, if you're feeling froggy, you could come out with your own set of snow carving tools and just send
That's
them.
right.
I should do that. I should do that.
Put that on the list.
Paul and Matt, do you guys have your own line of pumpkin carving tools?
Well,
Kind of, yeah.
kind of.
We do. We haven't pushed them yet, but we have a set of Carvers and Creators custom tools, and I'm waiting on one more specific tool before I actually start offering a set of tools myself, just because I couldn't get them at the time. But yeah, it's just this is a tough time of year. This is a tough time of year to push the pumpkin carving tools.
Yeah. It is.
But it's they're Kemper tools, the ones we've got in this kit so far. It's like they call it the essential kit, but it's just a set of Kemper tools for people who want to just try it out for the first time, or people who want to kind of just hone their skills and get better. But they're quality enough to where you're going to get, really a lot of good use out of them. We everybody who's ever tried this medium has experimented and broken lots of the little, the Chinese little pottery tools that you can get at Michael's or something, but. So a good quality American-made, good Kemper set is what we're put together. So
yeah, the tools that are in that Kemper set, most of them are what we use anyway on the show. So
yeah,
that's always been the hard part, is when you do a workshop or something and everybody already has their own tools, and then you're chugging along trying to give instruction, and you're showing which side of the tool you're using, which shape you're using, and then somebody's like, I don't have that tool. It's like, well, I guess you don't get to finish your carving then. But it's what we offer is all the exact like this is. I think this might even actually be in the set, isn't it? Something like this, Matt.
Yeah, it's exact. That's one. Is absolutely the double ender.
Yeah, and this is my favorite right now. I think I've broken this one 3 times. This is one of the tools I'm waiting on.
Yeah, and, you can still get those on Amazon.
Yeah, you got to buy the whole kit.
Yeah.
So I want this one specific, and I want to get a bunch. I love this tool.
Yeah, I don't know of a single pumpkin carver that doesn't have that tool in his arsenal.
Yeah, you gotta have it. There's a couple of staples that are. But you know what's funny? Do you now? I don't know about you and Matt. You jump in on this too. Do you have a favorite tool, and then eventually you move to another tool and make it your favorite, and like abandon the other shaped tool?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I had the PT512, this one here for everybody watching, was my favorite shape for a long time. And then I broke it and I didn't have another one at the time. So I moved over to this sort of as just like a bridge tool. Mm-hmm. And now I'm in love with this. It's almost like your favorite pen or your favorite pencil, right? You get so comfortable and you know exactly how much material it's going to take that. So now when I go back to this one, it's like, oh, hello, old friend. You just can't do what this one can do right now.
My favorite tool is always the one that I'm using right then.
Yeah, right. The one that helps you. Not the one that hurts you.
It just always depends. You know what I mean?
I agree. What are we getting hacked right now by Europe? What the hell's going on with the chat? Oh boy.
Yes.
Hey, dos vidania, if that means anything.
Well, you guys are drinking the hard liquor, and they probably want. Maybe we can get a vodka endorsement or.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you want to endorse us and you have a product that isn't officially illegal or really, really bad, then just please call. We're here.
Yeah, I mean, we're okay with illegal.
Quasi illegal. How about that? We'll just go with no jail time. That's all we're looking for.
Yeah, time served. Nice.
Man, oh man.
So what was this one for?
That was there's a big restaurant right down the road from me. Really nice place, Sprague's Maple Farms, and it's a really well-known place. And they opened 20 years ago, and they had me build this giant snow sculpture.
It's amazing.
That was 10 by 10 by about 4 feet wide. Same idea, formed it up, and then sculpted it out and painted it.
Yeah, Buffalo's such a unique place because when it snows here, it's usually just white. How did you find orange snow?
That took some doing.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a lot of dog piss right there.
Which,
You gotta
which,
feed 'em.
funny enough, was what they called the Buffalo Bills until like 2 years ago.
Oh,
God,
oh.
Paul.
Sorry, I got to get him in. I'm still hurting. I'm still hurting from last Saturday. That was tough. But I would like to see the Bills get one. That would be cool. Keep it in the AFC East.
Yeah, I would. I think we're due for it, don't you?
Yeah, it's been quite a while. Or ever? Has it? No, it hasn't.
Yeah, it's never happened. We don't have the ring.
Close 4 times in a row, though, right? Was it 4 in a row?
You got to admit that's impressive to go 4 times in a row.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I
goodness,
know.
that team was amazing. Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas,
Yeah.
Bruce Smith, Bruce Smith.
Yeah, those guys were
Oh, yeah.
beasts. Yeah.
Oh, I remember you used to crushed everybody except for that final game.
Yeah, it was brutal. That first one we should have had, but wide right.
Yeah,
Marv
yeah.
Levy was a great coach.
Yeah, was. So this one's awesome too, man.
Yeah,
Like,
wow.
you get this thing with snow. The way you're able to paint it and it doesn't bleed. Like I've seen a lot of snow sculpts before. When they do the paint, it just bleeds all over the place. Is it because of what they're using, like a spray paint or something?
Yeah,
As opposed to
actually,
an airbrush.
yeah, we're using an actual spray paint on that. The only it sticks really, really well to the snow. The problem is when the sun hits it, there's certain types of spray paint that have chemicals that will actually melt and erode the snow really quickly. So then you get these different variations and it flakes off. You have to constantly touch it up. But the only way you can get a really sharp, crisp line in the snow is spray paint. It just takes constant upkeep. That one, we had a rough day. That was like in March, I think, of last year. And the sun came out and it warmed up and that thing melted and it looked like garbage in about 6 hours.
Oh wow!
But we had it up long enough to get some good photos and get some sponsors.
That's it. It's the same thing as pumpkin carving, right? Get your pictures early because the next day you're gonna go, oh, that looks completely different.
Exactly.
Yeah, Eric and I were talking about the word ephemeral and how ephemeral art certainly incorporates snow. I would contend snow, ice, anything that's temporary, right? But when it comes to painting it, you're kind of accelerating that temporary nature. If it's melting it by it's it's like as if we were like putting them in the oven and cooking our pumpkins or something. Be the same kind of.
I just call it temporary, but Matt had to show me up and say it's ephemeral.
It's funny that you said ephemeral because I just wrote up like the description of pumpkin art and used the word ephemeral. I had to use the word ephemeral. It's a strange word, but hopefully we'll make it a popular word if everybody understands what we're talking about. Here today, gone tomorrow, basically, is what it means. Ephemeral art.
No, but Eric, you can totally jive. Anybody who carves pumpkins has the quintessential questions. Why don't you carve something more permanent? How you get to get it to last longer? All the million things you get over your shoulder every time. Can you put lacquer on it? No.
Oh, everything. No kind of. You can't put a sealer on that.
Maybe get it to stick around. And then you throw the ephemeral at them, and they're like, "Oh, I got nothing to say."
That's a great point.
Because they're looking up the word.
Just try to look smarter than them. That's how you get them to go away.
Yeah, right. I
had this one guy one time. He's watching me carve pumpkins, and he asked all those same questions. Can you put this on it? Can you do this? Can you do this? No, he just kept saying over and over, "What a pathetic shame." What a shame.
Really?
He just kept saying it. He made me feel really bad about myself, and I was thinking, well, maybe I should pick a different medium. I don't know this. No, I really felt bad. That's a giant ski boot, obviously.
That's awesome. I love that.
Big near where I live, and they had a big Mardi Gras. That's why it's got the Mardi Gras colors. Big Mardi Gras parade. So we made a big giant ski boot. That was a fun one.
That's a tall form too, man.
Yeah, that was like 9 feet. But the tough thing about that is it was also getting really warm quickly. So I had to sculpt the whole thing in the middle of the night. So I started at 8 p.m. and finished at 6 a.m.
Wow.
It was the only time I could work on it because it was so. It was the only time I could get it below freezing.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, you got it's that ephemeral art.
You gotta suffer for your art.
For that ephemeral.
I broke my ephemeral today. Yeah.
It's right next to your coccyx.
Yeah, I think so.
I severed my ephemeral artery.
Oh,
I'm good now.
Good night.
Now, how does that work? Ephemeral artery? That's not temporary, is it?
It is if it bleeds out.
Aren't we all very ephemeral just in nature? Come on.
Right. Hey, man, we're all temporary. We're all temporary, man.
I'm starting to think Matt's messing with me. I'm going to use that word wrong, and someone's going to make fun of me.
No, you know what? Paul and I pride ourselves on never really getting into the whole, oh, well, what motivated you to, like the whole artist speak stuff. So the ephemeral part kind of, it is a big, $7 word, but at the same time, it helps people realize that things are temporary. I think that's the thought of it. Right?
And good pictures last forever.
One of the questions I get asked a lot is, why snow? What got you into snow? And it's really, and it sounds like an obnoxious answer, but it's truthful. What gets me into snow is winter.
Yes, I'm in Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm in Buffalo.
It's Buffalo.
By mid-November, there's no pumpkins left. The only thing there's a lot of that's organic and worth carving is snow. So that's it. I mean, it sounds like a pretty mundane answer, but it's true.
Yeah. Truth hurts, These people need to know.
Everybody needs to know.
Oh, man, I am already struggling. What in God's
Struggling,
name?
yeah.
Well, I mean, I know what I'm doing, but I have no idea what I'm doing, Something like that.
That's a bumper sticker right there.
I know what I'm doing, but I have no idea what I'm doing.
No idea where I'm going. I know where I'm going, but I just don't know.
I know where I'm going. I have no idea where I'm headed. How's that?
Wasn't that a White Snake song in the 80s?
It was a White Snake song on the ride back just to get back and do the show on time. I was blaring it. I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah. Hey, Eric, I'm going to ask you some questions about Halloween Wars.
Yeah, have at it.
Since you and I are, if there's 10 seasons, then there's 10 of us, right? that finished second.
Yes.
So how was your experience on that show? I mean, because it was my first, and I think it was your first too being on there. What was your take on just kind of the general? Did you like it? Would you do it again? All that good stuff.
Yeah, that's a great question. I guess taking second on Halloween Wars is like just losing Halloween Wars. There's no, there's no second place, unfortunately.
Yeah,
and I'll say I had an absolute blast doing it. It was probably the biggest adventure in terms of my artistic career up to that point. Just, being on a national TV show, and I was incredibly nervous. I wouldn't be nearly as nervous doing it again. You learn a lot, but I was completely devastated when we lost. But you got to understand, this, Matt. Reality TV is not always real, but it was a really fun experience, and I'd love to do it again sometime.
Yeah. It was really cool too, because I talked about this before, but just being able to meet a lot of the really interesting people that I'd either known who they were by sight because I'd seen them on the show or other shows, or I just kind of knew them by reputation, and the nervousness I felt the first day, seeing a lot of those, really good sculptors and artists and stuff. And then 3 or 4 days into it, you're like pals with them and they're just supporting you. So it was really fun. Fun to meet all those great people.
Yeah, that's a great point. I'm a big fan of anything Stephen King, and I loved when the new It movies came out, and Jeremy Ray Taylor was in the new movie.
And he was one of your judges?
Yeah, he was one of the guest judges on the first episode, and I was really excited because I'm sitting there thinking, man, I'm a big fan. Here I am fangirling over a 15-year-old boy. It was kind of strange.
Mick, do you have that soundbite? I'm going to need that later when I cut it into any clip of anything Eric ever does again.
Say that. No, but that was really cool. he was the nicest kid. You know, I got to chat with him for a little while, and it was really cool meeting some of those people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the other talent too. I mean, it's not just the celebrities that are on. The other talent you come across, the other carvers. You know, I didn't really know any of the other carvers, and now I know them all really well, and they're incredibly talented. But boy, you meet some amazing people.
That is for sure. Yeah, I think we've had a few of those people on our show, but I've been happy to say that I'm like actual friends with a lot of them, and even going forward. So that's a cool byproduct, right?
It is. It really is.
Yeah, I agree. That was kind of my favorite part too, is meeting the other carvers that you've admired. Like when I did Outrageous Pumpkins, to meet Ray, Mark, and Terry was just like, huh.
Yeah.
And then the other contestants on the show. I mean, I talk to John Davis. I hang out with them, during covering season and a couple of gigs, and then we'll talk throughout the year. And
yeah,
he's like an old buddy.
Yeah.
Like you guys, you guys are my old friends now.
Oh,
but Dean Arnold was on with me. He was on the same season with me.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know who he was until I was on the show with him.
Great carver.
Yeah,
Yep.
He is.
I got this COVID cough. Sorry about that.
Oh, nice.
It's a good thing you're sitting in 10-degree weather.
Yeah, right. That'll really help the lungs out. I think we just lost him.
Why is the snow all red? What the? Oh,
He's got the buffalo lung.
I think I inhaled a chunk of ice.
so are you a Buffalo Wing fan? I mean.
Oh my gosh, I choke even worse on wings. Yeah, I'm a wing fanatic. I got my favorite spots in the city for wings.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's probably I know there's the original ones, and I've heard of a few of them, like watching food shows and stuff. But But is there like the place that you only will go to because they have the best in Buffalo?
I think the very best chicken wings you can find in Buffalo are in Lewiston, which is up near the falls. A place called the Brickyard. But you've got your classic Anchor Bar and Duff's. Those are the most well-known wing spots.
Yeah.
It's hard to find a bad chicken wing in Buffalo because there's so much competition for good wings.
Oh, good point.
Pretty much anywhere you go. It's like going to Maine and having lobster,
Yeah.
Good. I like that. Good analogy. All right.
I haven't jumped through any tables yet, though.
I can't believe you haven't. I can't believe you're not part of the Bills Mafia.
I haven't found a table. I got to find a table that can slow me down, Paul. I'm a big guy.
Yeah, I know, but that's the whole point of doing it. No table can slow you down so you don't hurt yourself. You're just going to fly through it. I've seen some people jump off the top of the vans and the table goes, nope, stays right where it is.
And they're setting these things on fire now, too.
Listen, hey, I'm missing something here.
Buffalo's known for chicken wings, not intelligence.
Okay, Matt, I'll catch you up really quickly. In professional wrestling, there was a segment called hardcore wrestling, which is they would do death matches and stuff like that. So they would take like tables, light them on fire, throw people through them. So after the Bills won. I actually saw this on Twitter. It's like, congratulations to the Bill. And it shows all of these people like during the tailgating, like jumping through tables, but the tables don't break. This one guy like dove off like this thing and he destroyed himself and went to, I can't even call it a table. It was just like a couple of pieces of wood put together. It was like, it was not going to end well for this guy. But there's a whole it's like a video reel of all these Bills fans doing this. They're not. I don't think they were celebrating. I just think that's what they were just doing before and after, during. Who knows? It's crazy. But here's the thing: even in professional wrestling, it doesn't go to plan. Like there's tables that don't break and these guys get burned and all stuff like that. So it's like, I wouldn't expect that, amateurs doing this out in the parking lot are going to fare any better.
No, you're exactly right. You're exactly right.
It makes for great video, though.
It sure does. It's a bit of an IQ test.
Oh yeah,
Sure is.
Well,
I remember after Philly won, watching like a dude eat horse crap and like jumping off of an awning into a crowd.
Yes,
like,
yes.
So I know there's a lot of brilliant people out there, but I didn't know if the table thing was a specific thing just to beautiful Buffalo. Okay.
It is though. Nobody else. I mean, I haven't seen
picking
any
up and
other.
running with it, huh?
Yeah, they can have it.
If the Eagles would have lost that Super Bowl, they would be alive today. Those fans.
You got to think though. I mean, look at the Canadians, our good friends to the north. You go the further up you go, they'll all say the same thing. It's so boring up there. All they do is play hockey and drink beer and procreate. That's all they do. So
How is that boring?
Yeah, so,
That sounds amazing.
it sounds amazing.
As I get older, that's kind of that's pretty much.
Yeah, I just want the hockey part to go away. That's the part that hurts.
But Buffalo's a unique. It's a unique town.
I got to get there. I've been dying to go up there. It's just
Did you grow up there, Eric? Is that where you're from?
No, I actually live. I live in south of the city. I'm a country boy. I'm out in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
So I'm actually I'm probably an hour south of downtown. I'm out in the rural parts of New York.
Okay.
But
where's the stadium?
What's that?
Where's the stadium? Is that more downtown or is that kind of
no?
sort
That's
of
in Orchard Park. That's south of the city. That's kind of like right in the Snowbelt area.
Okay, it's similar to like Foxborough is like a 45-minute ride out of Boston.
Yeah, is Foxborough is that downtown? Is the stadium?
No, it's south. It's on the South Shore. It's not the shore really. It's just south. It's about a 45-minute ride south of Boston. 40 minutes.
You're almost right in Connecticut there, right?
Pretty much.
Well, the Bills are talking about a dome now, so that's the news discussion.
What? You can't put Buffalo in a dome. The whole point is like the frozen tundra.
Yeah. The problem is we suck when we play in it.
Well, that's. But so do teams that like come in, like Miami can't play in the cold.
I know. I tell you though, this year we really struggled in the cold. I mean, New England beat us in the cold. It's we don't have a good running game, so it's not terrible, but it's not great. And if you can't throw the ball, you're kind of stuck.
Yeah, you guys figured that out in the playoffs. I don't want to hear it.
Yes, we did. We had a really good week last week.
Yeah, whatever. We had a good 20 years.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You got a future, though. That kid looks sharp.
He's good. He's pretty good. He can't carve a pumpkin or snow, though. So
you should bring back Cam Newton. He's
great.
He's a franchise guy.
Yeah. Which franchise is that? Burger King or McDonald's? That's where he'll be working.
Whoa!
He can't throw a football.
Is he? Is he a good philanthropist? Is he good to the community? Things like that.
Yeah, I think he's a pretty good guy like that.
Good. Josh Allen's been great for the area. He's just, he's got all of his charities set up, and he's just doing so much for the city and like the children's hospitals and stuff. He's really good.
Yeah, that's the one thing about like Gronkowski too. He still does stuff for Boston Children's Hospital. He'll come back and.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
I always liked Gronk.
Yeah, Gronk is somebody
to keep up with him partying, but
but he's somebody you can anyone can out intellect Gronk, but then he'll just pick you up and throw you.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think it's an act because he's pretty smart with his money. I don't think he's ever spent a game check. Is what. Yeah,
I heard that. He's been living off sponsor checks.
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Well, there you go.
Well, now I know.
Well, he doesn't have a family though, does he, Paul?
Well, he's got to support his 5 deadbeat brothers. Kidding. Don't kill me. No, he's got a girlfriend, I think. I mean, we don't talk much, so I really don't know. You could probably know just as much as I do.
You're not going to talk at all now after that statement.
Oh, yeah, no. Listen, I mean, he's probably really fast, too. I probably couldn't even outrun him to get away from him.
Oh.
Wow, this is a interesting challenge here, guys.
It is. I'm still going. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. I do know what I'm doing, but I don't really what I'm doing.
Eric's making some progress there.
Well, I'll tell you, this is tough in the snow here. I'm having a hard time.
Now it's hard to see because it's kind of washed out because of light. But tell us what you're. Oh, I think I know what you're doing. I think I see it.
It's kind of. I'm going with kind of like the medieval dragon thing that's going to be tricky about it is making him look hysterical.
He's freezing. He's going to be hysterical. Dragons aren't cold weather beasts.
So freezing. I'm going to try to really exaggerate that mouth and cartoon it. You know, like that tongue out the side of the stupid dog kind of stuff.
Nice, yeah.
If I can pull it off, we'll see.
You got it. Remember now, this is the first hour and a half. You can take your time finishing. It's about the subject and getting it started.
Yeah.
And it won't likely get warm enough to melt that. So anytime soon.
It
so you have
definitely won't.
time.
Right.
Definitely won't melt.
You got time. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a fun one. This is interesting to get the
Well,
form.
you guys, are you allowed to reveal what you're doing?
Well, Matt, you go first. What are you doing?
I'm doing a hysterical Loch Ness monster right now. He's kind of just getting the blocked out form of his head and stuff. And I don't know how big this head will be at the end. This is probably a fraction of this, but I don't want to cut anything away yet. But I'm just trying to get like the form of a head coming this way.
Right.
And
nice.
He'll be hysterical, as I will be, as I make him. Hysterical, dude. Paul, what the hell are you making?
I'm not going to tell you guys. I was just trying to get you guys to tell. All right, but I'll let you know. I'm going to go with the jackalope.
Oh,
right?
Love it.
Isn't that like
last week?
I think
That's so great.
We saw a jackalope. That's
Landon would be
in my head.
proud. Landon would be proud.
So yeah, but I got to take it slow with the forms here to just kind of figure out.
That's the rabbit with the antlers, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but as long as I keep the forms nice and soft, he could be Bigfoot. I don't know. I could do a complete 180. I'm not sure yet. Yeah. Hey, Mark, what's going on, buddy?
There you go.
Hysterical cryptozoology. You know, just a normal Thursday. Oh man. Yeah, show some more. So, do you have some of Eric's pumpkin stuff?
I do.
Yeah, he's got some good pumpkin stuff.
Yeah,
show that. He's got the magic with the airbrush, man.
Holy shit.
So yeah, cool. I'm not, as you guys probably know. I know Paul knows this now because he knows me a little better, but I'm not really a purist when it comes to carving. I like to add a little color, a little bit of. I mix up with some, different vegetables and add them, but I do like the look the airbrush gives a little bit of definition. Those animals down in the front were commission pieces for a local college, but most of the other
husky. Fun. I love the look of the husky. The eyes, though, that's paint.
Yeah.
So you got the gray tone and then that real deep black. Very even. It's cool, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, you got a skill with that. What's going on in the fish tank?
Yeah, the ogre in the back is good too. I love the ogre on the right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one I did it. That was one of those really big white. One of those pumpkins. They're really, really wet. I mean, like a lot more than an Atlantic giant. Just like it, almost like a watermelon.
Yeah,
but,
wet.
I was shocked at how well that held up.
Yeah, it looks great. That's a beauty.
This is when it turns when you do painting.
Yeah, that's a gourd. That's a
Is it?
gourd
Oh.
and a couple different pumpkins. Yeah, that was.
That's outstanding.
You can see the steps there. I took the gourd and carved the head of Pennywise, and then added the pumpkin elements, and then painted it. Did some lighting effects.
That's
How'd you
awesome.
do the eyes of paint too, huh?
Yeah, the eyes are paint too.
You're just a magician.
Yeah,
That's
good.
amazing.
I have to use paint because I'm not as good at carver as you guys. You know.
Oh, stop it.
I wouldn't know that was a pumpkin if you showed it to me.
Yeah, I've actually. That's the reason
Oh.
I show those small photos of the step by step, because
Yeah.
most people, when I show them that, they think it's a plastic Pennywise doll. It's actually all pumpkin.
That's so cool.
That was a lot of fun.
I'm seeing the pictures and I still don't buy it. That's great, man. I love it. You do got the good lighting on it too. And that's huge too. Like we talk about it all the time, like with the preservation and how you can't, right? Ephemeral. But almost as important as the carving itself is the way that you light and photograph it after.
Exactly.
Because there's nothing worse than a washed out pic, and that's all you got of it. It's not even worth showing off. Like you can't see any of the highlights or all the detail, all those little things that take so much time and you take so much concentration to do. If you can't catch it in the light, it's super depressing.
Yeah. I think that's one of Dean's strong points. I learned a lot from him with lighting. He's very good at lighting his finished product to enhance, how smooth it is, and he's good at that.
Yeah, there's not enough to be said about it. That's a good one too. I love that one. I love the.
Yeah.
Anytime you can use the stem,
Yeah.
Kind of like Matt's high school picture you showed us.
Yeah, that's right.
That was, oddly enough, that was Matt's nickname in high school, the stem.
Yeah, it bounced around from that to the human tripod, back to the stem.
Well, he's from Arizona, so another nickname he had was Driftwood.
Driftwood, yeah. Oh, Driftwood.
Here comes Driftwood. Yeah. Oh, God. That's bad.
Stand back. Here comes Driftwood.
Awful.
Now that's a really cool use of color. Is that beet juice or is it paint? Like, because that looks exactly like beet juice.
And that's actually paint. That was the University of Southern California, the Trojans. They hired during COVID. They were bored out of their minds, so they hired me to carve that so the students could watch it. They streamed it, Facebooked it to all the students.
Oh, cool.
It was pretty fun. And the snake one was kind of a redemption piece from Halloween Wars. Matt, I know you watched the first episode. We had that snake head fall over, so I did kind of a little redemption piece with the snake head coming out of the top.
That's awesome.
That was nerve-wracking on the show. I mean, luckily it was the small scare, so you didn't have a lot to lose, but it was still terrifying watching your piece fall,
Yeah. And for us, I know you won a bunch of episodes and you were just doing great, like kind of the way we were. I don't know if this is a formula or not of theirs, but I never won a small scare one. And we thought we had some pretty good ones, but for what it's worth, it was a fun exercise. And man, that clock does not lie. You are killing yourself for 45 minutes and you're not moving anything but just anyway, it's you're moving hard.
I had so many people say that. They would ask me, is that clock real? Absolutely it is. And I tell you, that 45-minute challenge is really, really difficult to make anything in 45 minutes worth of any value and without any prepping. That's really tough to do.
There it is. Mark had a nice compliment for you about the way you can subtly use that paint, and I agree with him that you use it as highlights. Like you almost forget that there's paint there in spots because you do use it in such a nice way.
Yeah. I like to make a color that's kind of a darker value of the same pumpkin hue, so that when you airbrush the low lights, it almost works like makeup does on a face.
Sure, yeah, contouring, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically all I'm doing. I don't use a ton of color except, if I'm separating the background for contrast, but just enough to kind of point out those highlights and lowlights.
No, you do. You got a good knack for it. I mean,
Thank you.
I've always had like hands off with painting pumpkins, and it's probably because I just don't have a lot of experience with it. And I'm a fan of lighting and stuff, but you always manage to make it work. Like I never look at yours and go, I look at yours and go, shit, I got to learn to paint.
Yeah, I think most pumpkin carvers tend to be more purist, wanting to rely on the light, which is awesome. I'm not quite skilled enough in that regard.
Sure you are.
I've got some color knowledge and some hue and value and intensity and all that stuff. So I bring that to the table and incorporate it where I can.
Yeah, throw that comment up from Mark, man.
Yeah, people don't realize that you have even less time than it appears on TV because you get stopped for sound bites and to make sure you can see you. But the clock keeps on ticking.
Yeah. Mark is 100% right, and Eric, you could probably commiserate. Once off camera, they're saying, "Hey, did you see what the team over there is doing?" And the clock's ticking, so you're working on something, and they're asking you
comment on it,
where you are, and they want you to talk because when I do this and you do that, I'm usually headphones and a drink, and I'm in my own world, but they want you to say, "Oh, now I'm carving this part of the face," and now it's like they want dialogue, and then they want drama. And so on top of all that stuff, it does. Mark's totally right. The clock's even more exaggerated because you really aren't carving that whole time. Okay, what did you say again? Would you like me to go ask the cake person if their cake's going to be done on time? Okay, let me do that.
Right. Yeah. And the whole time you're sitting there with you got a rake tool in your hand and you're trying to finish something up and you got an airbrush in the other hand. Then you got to go and create some drama.
Yeah.
Well, that's when it boils down to concept. Gotta have the concept ready to go and get on autopilot, right?
Yeah.
Nothing can stop you. That's a beauty. I love the lip. I love how the tooth gets caught on the lip.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones that I do for. I do a lot of virtual carve along with me. A lot of colleges, a lot of corporate events, things like that in October, just as entertainment source. And they go along with me, and then in the end, I usually have a few minutes extra, and I airbrush it just to show them, kind of highlight it a little bit, and just gives them a little extra entertainment. But geez, I probably did 50 of those just this last October. I'm so sick of doing that Frankenstein face, but people like it,
Yeah, that's funny you say that too. I have if I don't have any idea of what I'm gonna do at an event, I'll do the one that just comes out of your hand without even trying.
Exactly.
And at the end, people are like, "Oh, that's really good," blah blah blah. And in my head, I'm like, "It's the same face. I've done it so many times." But I mean, you do polish it up. I mean, I can polish that face pretty good now. I don't make mistakes on it.
You can always make subtle changes to it, but it's
yeah. But it's like the shape of the eye, or the width of the smile that drives me nuts, or the shape of the nose. Yeah. It's like you try to do the one that you can do really well in front of people. When it's just that, especially on if I do live events and somebody just wants a larger pumpkin carved or something, and you're like, well, would you like anything specific? Whatever, you're the client. I can give you some sort of guidelines what you want me to do, and it's just make it kid friendly.
Right.
It's like, damn it, that face. I can't unsee that face that I'm about to carve. No. The same face I carved before. But yeah, they never come out the same. I mean,
then you gotta ask what's kid friendly. I mean, that's
waist up.
That's a lot of different.
It's just from the waist up. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also sure that the Rolling Stones are sick of singing "Start Me Up," but it's a little bit of a you get crucified if they didn't do it.
Right, Mickey from the Top Rope, wrestling reference.
Oh,
it's a good point, Mick. You're always making good points.
He's like the history and sports encyclopedia up there.
He is an encyclopedia of knowledge.
He really is.
I was going to ask you about Buffalo. I was going to ask you how many times you've been to the Odd.
Oh, the Odd is the The odd is no longer, but I went a couple of times when it was there. It's been gone a while.
I wanted to ask what teams you saw there.
Oh, probably some crappy team like the Bruins or something.
Oh, come on, really?
The Hartford Whalers, maybe back then. And
Harper Whalers,
Jesus.
yes.
Does Buffalo even have a team anymore? The Sabres even consider themselves from Buffalo? God.
They're worse than the Bills. I tell you, it's terrible.
They're the kitchen knives now.
The Sabres in the would have been like right around the late '90s. They made a run and made it to the Cup Finals, and of course lost to the Dallas Stars.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that was it for the Sabres.
I was going to ask you if you're old enough to remember the indoor soccer team from the late 70s, early 80s, the Buffalo Stallions.
No, that would have been before my time.
Darn it. Well, I remember
the Buffalo Stallions don't remember the Buffalo Stallions.
They do not.
Right.
They do not.
They did have an NBA team though back in the '60s, the Braves.
That's right. That's right. So there you go. So, I think what's that?
I was trying to figure out. Buffalo doesn't have a basketball team, right?
Right.
No,
Too
they're wings.
damn cold to bounce that ball. I'll say.
Sorry about that. I had to take a bathroom break there.
Oh, we didn't know you were gone.
Yeah, interesting.
Did you make some yellow snow you can show us?
Yeah, I had to make some yellow snow for these teeth.
What team are the Buffalo Braves now? They're still in existence. They moved.
I believe they were the LA Clippers.
They are. They moved to San Diego
Wow.
and then to LA.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are good at this.
I'm sure we've alienated anybody watching. So
Buffalo used to be
so
No
back
way,
to
man.
it. Oh, here's a good one.
Look at that. That's nuts.
Oh wow.
I like that one.
That's one of my favorite ones. I was sitting in my driveway one day and I had a couple of really big pumpkins, and I was like, I'm gonna make some trout. I love to trout fish, brown trout and rainbow trout. So I just made those. They came out pretty realistic.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, they're super cool.
Now that was out of pumpkin, like a larger pumpkin. You cut it down and
just a big pumpkin, and I just used the natural curve of the wall to make it look like that the fish were swimming, and it was amazing how realistic they came out. They were fast. I mean, it was like an hour carving those things. They really went pretty quick. I'll probably do that again sometime. That was fun.
Wow. Yeah, those are nice.
Now you're going to get the quintessential question. Why don't you do it out of wood so it stays around forever?
That's so true. Such a shame. Such a shame.
Crying shame.
Yeah.
Matt, are you doing a specific voice there of someone?
Yeah, Matt's got somebody in mind.
What an absolute shame that is,
I definitely have people in mind when oh God, it's.
So what do you? Honestly, but what do you guys say in those situations? I'm curious.
You just smile.
Get away from me.
Smile. They don't get it. I mean,
I always say the same thing, and nobody seems to get it. I always say, as an artist, it's about the process, not the product.
Yeah,
I say that. Yeah.
It's a process. It's an entertainment. It's not about a finished product, but they still don't get it. Well, can't you put some lacquer or something? Okay.
Yeah.
Have a nice day. Have a nice day.
It's about the process and not the product. Then can you put it in vinegar?
That's exactly the conversation I've had 70, 80 times.
Yeah.
But think about it, right? If you got to keep everything you ever carved, or if you could preserve it or whatever, we'd all be single, living in an apartment full of our sculptures, because our wives would have gotten rid of us years ago.
That's right. That's
100%.
Yep.
Like sometimes I'll look at one and I'll be like, oh, I wish I could keep it around for a little while. Because sometimes you do something and you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like I'll put it on a shelf for a little while before I get sick of it. But the next morning, whenever this will be finished, I'll put it up on the kitchen table so the wife and the kids can see it.
Yeah.
And then after that, when they're like, "Oh, you did another one like last week, or the week before, or before that," they just kind of walk plus by. They're like, "Way to go, Dad!" I'm like, boom, in the trash.
Maybe that's your out. You just say that my wife will not allow any of the stuff in the house.
And tell them there is a magic way to preserve them, but I really can't tell you. It's like an industry secret.
Yeah,
you just watch their heads explode.
Yeah, I've still got the ones I did 10 years ago. I have them in my special way. I preserve them, but they're all in my house.
They look better than the day I did them.
Maybe we should just come up with something and just use that just to get an expression, like out of maybe like baby seal blood or something like that.
Yes, that actually does work.
Yes. Who told you that? That's my gimmick.
Well, moving forward, I think we have kind of found a way to preserve them to a point with the 3D scanners that they're coming out with.
Oh, it's true.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So I have a 3D scanner coming to test.
Okay.
And eventually I'll get to the pumpkins because I have like 900 other things I want to try with a 3D scanner. So,
that's interesting.
So starting with my head. I want to scan my head.
Is it a handheld thing and you just go around and like
you leave it stationary and then it comes with a like a lazy Susan, a motorized lazy Susan that actually spins the whatever you're scanning around. And then it feeds it right into a program.
Just the scanner though, right? Not the printer.
No, not the printer. The printer, I'm still. I got feelers out to like Ted Haynes has a dynamite one.
Oh yeah, his is awesome.
Yeah, so some of these guys that are posting the prints that they're doing, like Gabriel has a dynamite one. Like I want to I want to find the one that isn't $1 gazillion, but isn't the, you know what I mean? It's like when you do work on your house, get 3 prices, pick the one in the middle. I gotta find the price range one, and if the scanner works good, then I want to just start making a library of the cars from the show. Yep. So that whenever somebody asks me that question, I can say, I got them all. They're in digital format, ready to go. I can print them out. As long as the detail gets held in, that would bum me out if you scan it and it doesn't pick up those wrinkle lines. Like Matt,
no, it will.
It will. Those little tiny, and I really take a lot of time lately to get rid of most of the tool marks because Mark Evan scarred me for life with the tool mark comment. So I make sure I get rid of my tool marks. So yeah, I'd love to see if it could pick up all those little tiny scratches and creases and stuff. And if it can do that, oh my God, I'll be so happy. I'll just have a complete zip drive of projects, from week to week. That would be great to just start making a catalog of episodes.
Yeah,
I would think the picking up the quality would or the detail would depend on the quality of the machine you get. I'm sure you can get them, incredibly detailed.
Yeah, the one I got coming is it's like 0, whatever the scale is that they use for like accuracy. It's 0.001, which is like supposed to be real good. So we'll see. I mean, when I watched like the selling point, the video or whatever, they were doing some pretty detailed stuff. So
that's awesome.
We'll give it a shot.
I'm anxious.
Yeah, the cool thing that when you have those files, you can basically then take that file and have stuff printed in different mediums. So like different types of steel, like wood. It's very interesting what you can do with them. Weirdly enough, out of this was probably like about 6 or 7 years ago, there was a thing you can do stuff in Photoshop, and then you could make 3D stuff in Photoshop and then send it to be 3D printed. And at the time, you could do stuff in gold. Now it would cost you like literally $1 million to do like a little thing or whatever. Wow. But it was like you could do it. You would have to, but you could pick all these different metals that you wanted to do, and it was really impressive back then. So I can imagine what you can do now.
Oh yeah, that is awesome.
Like something like this. Like we've had, amazing special effects guys that are just dynamite at casting stuff almost like reprimand us. Why
Yeah.
aren't you making a slush mold of that as soon as you're done? Why don't you have that ready to go? And it's like, because I don't know how. And the last time I did, it cost me $35 in material because I suck at it.
Threw it all out.
Nobody told me you got to leave a room for air because this is actually decomposing,
Breathing.
so it's getting rid of gas, right?
Yeah.
So I did one, and I painted on the silicone to a base. I thought I was doing it right, and I had it glued to the base, and then I covered the whole thing solid, and I was letting it dry, and I went back like 2 hours later, and there was a bubble off the side of it from the gas trying to escape. And then I forget who I reached out to, but I said, hey, is that a normal thing? And they were like, well, yeah, you got to leave air. You got to leave room for air to get out. And I'm like, I didn't know that. Well, there goes that whole thing. And the sculpt is ruined.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm a little gun shy. So I think a 3D printer is the way for me.
No, I think that's a great idea, Paul, because also I have my biggest problem is,
A 3D scanner.
do I like it enough to waste the time to scan it? And if it's that easy, you just make a file out of it. It's the last thing I do before I throw it out. You know, I'm like, get a good picture. I'm gonna scan it. Now it's a permanent file. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Sure. Then you got it. Yeah. You check out the scan, make sure it's, whatever quality to your liking, and then you move on.
It's also an extra step in your workflow, which I'm sure you guys are not thrilled about.
It's a new step. I love new technology and new things like that could kind of help what we're doing. You know what I mean? So if this works out, you have a legitimate answer as to how you can preserve, something of this size. Like, I don't know what the limitations are on a 3D scanner. If the scanner is only, the size of my hand, can it scan a 60-pound pumpkin? You know what I mean? Do you have to pull it back? Does that impact the detail quality? Because I'm sure it's throwing light or whatever, however it picks up with the lasers that, I don't know. I'm not an astronaut.
I'm just trying to make a GIF.
I'm just a pumpkin carver. I don't know, it's
just
something.
trying to learn the word ephemeral.
You got to let that one sink in. That's great.
So I wanted to hit some more of Eric's stuff before we wind it down. This is tremendous. This is so
Great use of
amazing.
lighting on that too.
That is really great.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite pieces. That's the Iwo Jima. I picked that pumpkin up. It's 600 pounds. I didn't pick it up literally.
Wow.
I got it from a local pumpkin farm, and I didn't know. I mean, it was after Halloween because I got it cheap, and I thought, Veterans Day's coming. That'd be fun. That was a really fun. There's a really cool video of that one on YouTube. You can Google that. And I had it professionally done. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And the flag is pumpkin too.
Yeah, the flag's pumpkin too. There's a steel wire holding it up, but everything's carved from pumpkin.
Wow, that's awesome that you completely and totally got lazy on the flagpole. Kind of ruined it.
I know. I couldn't find pumpkin stiff enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Oh my God, I could only imagine if they told you, like, if it was a competition and they said you had to make the flagpole out of pumpkin.
Yeah.
I would have quit.
I would too.
There's no possible way to do that.
And I've had people look at that and say, "Wow, is the flagpole pumpkin too?" And I'm like, "No, you idiot! Why'd you just ruined my whole piece by asking me that?"
But an even better question is, how do you preserve it?
Yeah, it's kind of funny when I did that carve. I wasn't planning on lighting it from the inside. I got pretty thin, as you can see around the legs.
Yeah,
it was just going to be an outside, and then I thought, I wonder what that looks like. So I opened it up from the back, and I couldn't believe how cool it looked. It almost looks like a sunset behind the guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does. It plays perfect. Even the way it's almost like a gradient all the way across. The way it changes colors like that.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Great use of paint once again.
Yeah.
Oh,
we were talking about sand.
We haven't even
before.
shown the sand yet.
Yeah, there's a sand. I do a little bit of airbrushing in the sand too, with just a little black.
Really?
Same idea. Yeah. That was a fun one. Those are all. I do those, and they're all separate fundraisers. So this one was Western New York Heroes, military charity. It was a lot of fun.
It looks like you do stuff year round. I mean, based on what I got sand.
Same question. What gets me into sand? Springtime.
Yeah.
Once the snow melts, I gotta carve something organic. So, it's actually it beats you up a little bit physically. It's a lot of work, the sand, but
To compact it.
it's such a cheap way to. I mean, you can buy a triaxle load of this river sand, and the dirtier the sand, the better. It sticks together better. But it's like, you're talking like $100 for a giant truckload of sand, and I'd get 2 of those, and then same thing, you mold it up, and I usually hire some kids to help me shovel it, and then pick a charity, and a lot of fun.
That's cool, man. I like that you do a lot of it for charity too. It's a great way to get, good community relations.
I've learned that philanthropy is actually a really fantastic way to market yourself too. I know that sounds a little cheesy, but it has.
So you're into ephemeral philanthropy.
Exactly.
Say that 5 times fast.
That's
Is there
exactly
any other kind?
That should be my. That should be the name of my website. Ephemeral philanthropy.
Eric's ephemeral.
Right. Yeah. You should try and get that domain name and see how many people spell it right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you want to be nice, but only temporarily. That's what that means.
Right.
Well,
I don't know
go
if
ahead.
you guys have noticed this, but whenever you're working with temporary materials, ephemeral, right? Materials, there's a really easy way to attach a charity, because there's like a sense of urgency to when something is temporary. People want to come and see it in a hurry, and when they want to see it in a hurry, you can leverage that into a charity. If you made that out of stone or wood, people would be like, whatever,
We'll take our time. Yeah.
Yeah, but when it's only there a few days or a couple of weeks, it's amazing how easy it is to raise money, for different charities that way.
Oh, that's cool.
That's very smart. Well done.
So when do you find time to do caricatures?
So the caricatures are that's my full-time gig, and I run, actually, it's the largest retail caricature site on the whole web. I started the website.
No kidding.
I started the website with my partners in 2005, and we quickly became the largest. We're still the largest, barely. There's some Egyptian companies that are on our coattails, but we do about, when I say we, there's a few artists. I draw every caricature, but I outsource the coloring to some other artists, and then there's I have employees that do marketing and customer service and all that. But everything's custom drawn from hand. It's digitally drawn with a Wacom. You get this, Mickey, but everything's hand drawn. And we do about 10 to 15,000 of these a year.
Wow. And you draw 10 to 15,000 faces a year.
Yeah, and we market specifically for gift giving. So, like that one would be like a retirement gift for somebody that's going away, and they're going to England on a cruise in their retirement, and they want to give them a giveaway gift in the office, something like that. So that they would order that through us.
She's got great taste in baseball teams.
Now, I will say I love the Red Sox. I will say that. Yeah,
we'll all have to hook up and go to a game soon.
Oh man, I've never been to Fenway. I would love to.
No, Maddie and I just went to Fenway over the summer.
Yeah.
Right. No, I would love to go. I've never been there.
I'll tell you what, I'll take you. You come to Boston, I'll take you to a game.
It's a great park.
It's a great park.
It's a great park.
You get a hell of a sausage.
No, I'm a Red Sox fan, because when I was a kid, I played Little League Baseball. My team was the Red Sox, so I picked them. I mean, that's ever since then they've been my team.
That's so funny, huh? Unfortunately for me, when I was in Little League, it was 1985, 86, and I was on the Mets.
Braves, wasn't it?
I was on the Mets.
Oh.
Of all teams to be on.
Oh man!
And what year was this? 85?
80, yeah, I think it was 85, and that's the series year, right? It was the 85, 86.
86.
86. It was 86 then, but that was back when you used to get the real uniform. Like, it wasn't you got a shirt and then you bought, now your parents get you sweatpants. But we got the stirrups. It was white uniforms with the blue pinstripes and the real Mets logo.
Oh, wow.
The real Mets logo and the real cap. Yeah, you thought you were an MLB player.
You would wear it to school every day.
Absolutely.
Every time you had a game, you had your uniform on.
Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
loved it. Yeah. So 85 Mets, that would have been like what, the Darryl Strawberry years?
Yep. Mookie Wilson, the Bill Buckner, the Bill Buckner moment. That was night.
Was it Dwight Gooden?
Dwight Gooden, Doc Gooden. Yep.
Cocaine Cowboys.
Oh yeah, I was at a couple of games where we got to chant Darryl. Go home, New York. Mark with this "Go New York." Get out of here. That rivalry died when the Red Sox became unstoppable a couple of years ago.
Doc Gooden. Yeah.
That's back when the Red Sox had Oil Can Boyd.
That's right.
Lenny Dykstra. I remember Lenny Dykstra.
Yeah, nails.
Yep.
Remember Wade Boggs and all those guys?
Oh, I remember Wade Boggs. Spike Owen, Mike Greenwell.
Yeah.
Spike Owen. No, Spike Owen. That's awesome.
Spike Owen. Mike Greenwell, the Gator, used to wrestle alligators in the offseason. Oh, yeah. Don Baylor, Rich Gedman.
Wow. Yep.
Steamer Stanley, Bob Stanley out of the bullpen.
Yep.
You had Clemens, Biondi.
Clemens, that's when Clemens was, I think he was at his best.
Well, yeah, I think that was the year. Was that the year he set the was that the year he set the record for strikeouts? 20K.
Somewhere in there. Those were his like early years, and he was awesome for Boston.
Yeah.
Well, he was throwing unofficial 108, 109 mile an hour fastballs.
He was the new Nolan Ryan at the time.
Exactly.
Yeah. Those were some
medically aided fastballs.
Hey. What is it? What is with you? What is with you? Don't you dare.
I like him. I'm a big fan. I actually have a ball that's from him. It says "To Matt" from Roger Clemens. And
is it his left or his right one?
It says Sci-5 on the side because he's just gotten the 5th Cy Awards. Yeah, it's actually
right on. Right on.
So Eric, you've officially gone 90 minutes with us. Yeah, it's the fastest 90 minutes on the internet. We definitely want to go around and see what everybody's carving. I'm going to put up the banner again. So hysterical cryptozoology. Cryptozoology, that double word score for Paul. Right? That's amazing. So let's go around the horn and see what we got here.
Oh, me first. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
All right. Roughing the forms. A lot of roughing the forms here. So I'm going with the jackalope as of right now until I change my mind, but I think I've kind of gone down that path. So obviously, ton of appendages, right? Gonna have to have ears and gonna have to have antlers. Antlers will be a interesting one. I do have some donor squash, so I'll try to do as much of it as I can. Like this one's pretty cool for the shape of it. I think I'd have to knock it down a lot because it doesn't have to be that big, but antlers branch out. So
yeah,
but that's neither here nor there. I have quite a ways to go.
She's looking pretty cute though. I like it.
Thanks. Why is it got to be a girl? It was going to be a Roy.
No, it's definitely a girl. It's got to be a girl.
She's a jackalope. She's a Jackie-alope.
She's a Jill-alope.
A Jill-alope? Yeah.
She's non-binary. She's a non-binary elope.
Oh, perfect. Right on. She identifies as a butternut jackalope.
Yeah.
Matt, what do you got?
All right. So this usually at this point I've got like a lot more into it, but I'm trying to go with like I don't know why I'm going all the way around the stupid thing, but I can't help myself. But it's like that kind of snake neck, and then the head right now is just a big chunk. So I have no idea. I'm trying to make like a menacing look for it to be hysterical, like going crazy, but it's going to require the big dinosaur mouth, to be a Loch Ness monster, and then maybe some Loch Ness fins down the back or something like that. I got work to do, but usually I have some kind of a form of the face, but this guy so far is all body.
No, I like the use of perspective. Like on that side, you can almost see where the bulbous eye would be. Like maybe it's not looking straight on. Maybe it's got that one eye. It's like crazy looking, kind of looking down at you thing. You wouldn't even have to do that backside.
Yeah.
But I know you're gonna go like completely overboard and just kill it. So
It may take a couple more minutes to finish.
At least 5 or 10.
5 or 10. I want to see the ice thingy.
Look,
Yeah,
he's
our
got
very
into that.
Our very first. Oh wow!
Wow.
Well, it's coming together. I'll tell you that I really plan on being a lot further than this, but I'm literally dealing with ice. I'm chipping it away, so chainsaw would have been quicker. But yeah, I'm keeping the contours kind of dragon-like, but very feminine, But big bulging eye. I think I'm gonna do when I think of what was it, hysterical, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have the eyeballs like placed in different kind of like imagine this like this really majestic dragon that's like gone crazy, right? Tongue hanging out the side.
Right.
So when I get this finished, it'll be pretty cool. You will have to wait and see it, but yeah, she's gonna be pretty.
Love
Sweet. Yeah, that looks great already. First time somebody's done snow. Well, Eric says it's ice, but either or.
It
Yeah,
used to be snow.
First cold weather carve.
Yeah,
Well done, sir.
fantastic. So you can check out Eric. This is his Instagram. Is there anywhere else we can find you, Eric?
Yeah, Facebook, or you can if you want to reach me, you can either reach me through Facebook or ericjonesstudios.com. But yeah, Facebook, Instagram, that's how most people look me up and find me.
Right
Awesome.
on.
Yeah.
And this is where you can find us. We are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Any last words, guys, before we sign off?
Yeah, thanks again to Eric for joining us. Great guy. Awesome conversation.
Yeah.
Terrible choice of sports teams. Not a big fan of it, but no, great. Thanks for joining us, Eric, man. I love it. I love everything you do. It's been an honor.
Yeah, I really
has.
appreciate it. You guys have been fantastic. I've been fans of you guys, and I'm not just saying that. I've been following your stuff for a couple of years now. So privileged to be on. I'm looking forward to coming back.
Absolutely.
It's
Definitely.
good to talk to another a bro, a Halloween Wars loser.
Oh, geez, wasn't that the worst thing though? I mean, you having that party at the end, and everybody thinks you're going to win, and you get and then I had relatives crying. It was hysterical.
Oh no.
That was great. It was great.
Well, just think of it this way: there's the losers club is bigger
it
than
is
the winners club. So
Right.
I mean, you got more people in your club.
right.
That's right. We can jump them.
That's right. Matt and I are the biggest losers.
The biggest losers. No way, man. You guys are the best. I think you get more traction from losing.
You do.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, you know,
Look at American Idol. Like you don't even know who the
Seriously.
winners are.
Yeah.
No,
The people
right.
that lost actually got bigger careers.
Like
Yeah,
Sam,
and when
people-
somebody gets kicked off that with the talent like these guys have, you're like, why the hell did they get kicked off?
Right.
Like
Well,
you
people
think
tend
more
to-
about it. Like, what's going on there?
People tend to tweet and post on what irritates them more than what they're excited about. So
Right.
if you leave a show like that early and you got a lot of talent, there's a lot of chatter about it. I remember that it was actually trending on Twitter. It's like Grave Diggers got screwed, It was
Yeah.
hysterical how serious people take it.
Yeah, so way to go for kicking pumpkins off the show for that 1 year. That was a smart move.
Yeah, I don't know. I was the last year, and then they had a year off, but they're back. They're back, so it's going to be good again.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It always bounces back. You can't keep a good pumpkin show down.
Never.
You can't. The best.
Nope.
Right
Well, we
on,
will
boys.
be back next Thursday at our normal time. I know we went an hour early. Matt's got to run, but we will see you at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern next Thursday for another Carvers and Creators. Thanks for joining, everyone. See you next
Thanks,
time.
guys.
Night,
See you
everybody.
guys.